Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'm at Tuttle Educational State Forest. It's actually the first, I think this is the first park activation I've done here in North Carolina in at least a month. I've been traveling a lot the past few weeks, between about a week for Hamvention. I did a activation in West Virginia, a few in Ohio, one in Kentucky on the way back. Came back home, had a busy 3 days, and then my family took off on a fairly long camping trip. And I was in Alabama. Had planned to do a lot of activations in Alabama, but due to some truck mechanical issues, I think I may have mentioned in a previous video, I only got one SOTA and POTA activation done while there. And then I came back from the camping trip, and I've just been incredibly busy back home. And but yeah, I get to play POTA today. I'm really happy. It's a beautiful day today. Some clouds are passing over right now, but it's been a really nice day, and I don't think there's going to be any rain. Hopefully not. And I brought with me my Pentec TR45L. Now, in all my travels, I've been using my KX2 very heavily. It's been in very heavy rotation, and I decided I really wanted to get some of my other radios out, but I had taken the KX2 because it's just so small. It traveled really well on all these various travels I've gone on. I've also I took my Pentec R4020, and did I take another radio? I can't remember if I took another radio with me at the time. It may have just been my Pentec R4020. So I've had a good time with the KX2. I love that radio, but I've missed some of my other radios. And the TR45L, it was its day to go outdoors and play radio. So that's what we're going to do today. It's inside here. Before I begin, though, so I've got something I'm going to do, and I'm going to speak as quickly as I can because I'm a little pressed for time. I'm actually down here in the foothills today because I'm taking my mom to an appointment this afternoon, so I can't be late because she's got an appointment about mid-afternoon. And it's about 11:30 right now. I need to make sure I leave enough time to do this activation. So this activation hopefully won't take too terribly long. I've got a couple goals today, though. One of them is I was asked recently by one of my readers if I would do an activation at the speed I do an activation when I'm not filming it and talking and describing things. Lately, I include a lot of my antenna setup by demand. A lot of you have asked me to do this. I'm happy to do it. So I show my antenna deployments, but I end up talking about how and why I deploy them, and the feedback from that has been incredibly positive. But it does take more time to do the activation. And what this person was wanting to know is, how long does it take when I'm just going out, I'm not shooting a video, and I'm just in maybe a little bit of a hurry, and I just want to get the activation going. And I'm not worried about talking to anyone or explaining what I'm doing or anything. So I thought what I would do is if you look in the chapters below, if you just hover your mouse over the timeline, you'll see chapters in there. I'll show the start of the activation. From that point forward, I'm going to try to do it about as quickly as I could when I'm not filming. Now, I will be filming it, though, so I've got to pay attention to the camera and pick it up and do a few things, but I'm not going to do a lot of extra things in it. I'm just going to get it going and probably not do a lot of talking. I'm just going to start the activation and get going. I did schedule this activation, so hopefully the Reverse Beacon Network will pick me up. We do have some really rough propagation going on right now. I'm planning to deploy my 40-meter end-fed half-wave, and hopefully it'll treat me well. We'll probably maybe we'll start on 20 meters and then go down to 40 meters if we need to, but I won't be doing the activation forever. I will need to move along the way here. I think maybe a total of an hour time is all I have if I'm pushing it a little bit. I don't even know if I can push it that far, to be honest. Probably like 45 minutes is what I can do. So that is the plan. Now, one quick thing before I get started not talking. I want to talk about something. This is kind of like a little public service announcement here. Also, I wanted to tell you about a cable I got. But basically, this cable is new to me. This is a cable by ABR Industries in Texas, and they sent this to me as a sample. When cable assembly manufacturers send you a cable, they never want it back because what are they going to do with used cable, right? I have been a customer of ABR for a long time. I mean, probably dating back, I don't even know how long they've been around as a company, but I've probably been buying their cables since 2010 or 12 or so. And I love their cables. They're made in Texas. They're super high quality. And I've gotten to know this company over the years because I bought so much stuff from them. Also, they are almost always, if not always, at the Dayton Hamvention. And I used to run a nonprofit organization called Ears to Our World. And Hamvention gave us sort of a comp table so that we could tell about the work that we were doing, the humanitarian work we were doing. And for several years in a row, ABR had a booth right across from us in one of the halls at the Hera Arena. Or at Hera, not in the arena part, but in one of the, I think it was maybe the East Hall, I can't remember. And I got to know them, so I started buying their cables, and I've used them almost exclusively for all of my amateur radio stuff. And really what I want to say is, in all of this with ABR, is when you're buying and putting together a field radio kit, do not skimp on your cable assemblies, your feed lines, your connectors, and your adapters. Don't skimp on those. Buy high quality stuff. The reason I say that is feed lines and cable assemblies and connectors and adapters, as much as we'd like to think they're not, they are consumable. When we are field operators, these eventually, in our use over the years, are going to fail at some point. If you have a cheap cable assembly, it's going to fail quickly. It may not even work right out of the gate. If you buy a really high quality one, it's going to last you a long time, like maybe a few years in the field of very heavy usage. If you don't actually activate that often, it may last the lifetime of you doing POTA, who knows. But by their very nature of packing them up, coiling them up, throwing them in packs, going up mountains, getting them in rain sometimes, letting them dry out, lots and lots of movement, lots of bending, lots of coiling up and packing away and all that treatment, eventually will wear out a cable. So I always see cable assemblies as consumables. However, the last thing you want to do is buy a cable assembly that's pre-made, say RG316 with BNC connectors on it, get something that's cheap on Amazon or eBay or something like that, and then use it a few times, and maybe one day you're using it on a summit in the middle of nowhere and the connector breaks off or doesn't work, or it develops a short, or develops a break in the cable or something like that. That does happen, I promise you. In fact, my experience with this is, I guess I was at a not Hamvention, but I was at a Hamfest many moons ago. I run another website called the SW Welling Post, and it focuses mainly on the receiving side of things. So software-defined radios that are receivers, and also international broadcasting and all things HF, shortwave radio. Well, I used to do especially a lot of comparison reviews between various bits of equipment. It might be a portable shortwave radio, SDRs, tabletop receivers, or all of the above. And I had decided at one point I wanted to standardize on the types of cables I was using, because I wanted all of my I wanted all my radios that I was comparing to have a fair shake at the exact same setup. So the same cables, same amplified splitter, same antenna, that sort of thing. So when I'm doing comparisons, it's closer to being apples to apples. Most specifically when I'm testing software-defined radios. So one year at a Hamfest, I went to one of the larger sort of retailers that's a regional retailer that sells a little bit of everything. You know what I'm talking about at a Hamfest. There's always at least one of them that has everything. They have a little bit of everything: adapters, cables, connectors, all that stuff. And I saw a table that had a really nice assortment of cable assemblies that were all RG316 with different adapters on the ends. And that's exactly what I needed, because I needed some with SMAs on one end, PL259s on the other end. I needed some with BNCs on one end, PL259s on the other end, and I could get them all like 2 or 3 feet. So I bought probably 7 or 8 of them that day. I went home, I replaced out the nicer quality cables that I actually had to put on these consistently sized cables, and found that my SDRs were not performing as well as they were before. And it wasn't because of the RG316. I looked at it, and like one of my cables, when I would wiggle it a little bit, I saw a big jump and spike on the spectrum display and in the waterfall. So I could tell that the connector wasn't on very well. I also noticed sort of more noise intrusion and things like that going on. And basically those cable assemblies they looked great. They looked fantastic, but they were not performing very well. I think they were lossier too. And from that point forward, I thought, nope, I'm just going to go ABR on these as well. So I'm going to use ABR Industries stuff. So I started ordering custom cables from ABR Industries, and I ordered them. They would make them exactly what I wanted, with PL259s on one end, BNCs on the other end. Some of them, they have stock cables like that, but I had them custom make some. I even had them make one with PL259 on one end with 3 feet of RG316, and on the other end, a 3.5 millimeter 3 conductor cable, so that I could connect into some of my portable shortwave radios that could handle larger antennas. I mean, that's the sort of thing. They made those as well. So they make everything. They're a local company. They are not, at least at time of filming this, they're not a sponsor of QRP or .com. I'd like them to be. But I'm glad that they sent me this, because I saw them at Hamvention this year, 2023 Hamvention, and they gave me they gave me one cable there, which is one I'll show in a future video, which has a really bright jacket on it, like a jacketing that goes across it, so that when you're doing a park activation and you're stretching out your feed line, it's very visible, so people don't trip on it or anything. Then I got this in the mail from Shannon at ABR, who's the president of ABR, and she said, Thomas, I just wanted to check this out. This has an inline 31 series, 331 series chokes on it. And so it's a really nice slim choke design on this 25 feet of RG316. And I can tell you from having used their stuff before and gotten plenty of their RG316, this is a super high quality cable. I've also gotten cables from Tufton and from Pactena, and they make great stuff as well. Both of those are ham radio run by great ham radio operators, George and Joshua. George with Pactena, Joshua with Tufton. So they know what they're doing, and their cables are all really good as well. But they really only kind of deal with RG316. With ABR, you can get RG316, RG174, any RG you want. They have got all of the types of cable for HF, for VHF, UHF, and even higher stuff, and they'll custom make it for you. I love them. And so they didn't pay me to say any of this, and I could have easily bought this cable as well. I've bought plenty from them in the past. I just wanted to mainly make a point that when you buy a cable assembly, buy a really high quality one. If you make your own, which I would encourage you to do, I do make my own as well, try to buy high quality parts and test them and make sure they work really well. Don't just go to eBay, Amazon, AliExpress or something and buy a whole bunch of cheap cables. You may luck out and maybe they'll be decent quality, but I can tell you that probably the retailer I bought my cables from at the Hamfest just got them in bulk from eBay or AliExpress or someplace. And they were just very poor. And it really put me off of it. I would rather invest in having a really good feed line. Okay, I think that is my soapbox for right now. Sorry about that. Let's get started with this activation. So what I'll do is turn off the camera. And when I turn it back on and we get going here, I'll just go through the process. The only thing I'm going to do in advance is take these little ties off. This cable's never been used before, and just roll it out. Normally I would have mine in sort of a large figure 8 configuration, so I could just like kind of throw it out. So I'm going to untangle this, get it out all done, and then we'll just get things going. I'm not going to talk a lot. I'm just going to do the setup and hop on the air, and then I'll kind of be back with you. Here we go. Okay, let's get this activation started. Now, you may have noticed that what I did was, when I was first pulling this antenna through on this side, I did see that I had pulled it up a little higher than I really wanted the viewpoint to be. Not that it really mattered that much. So I decided to go back, just put a weight on the end and pull it through a little bit. I didn't have to do that, but I just decided to do it just to kind of have it configured the way I normally do it. Get you in focus here really quickly. Let's get started on this activation. Let's see, do I have everything ready? I think I do. Let's see if I can turn this where you can see it better. There we go. There we go. Okay. Why did I put 1600 on here? It's not going to be 1600. That's probably the average length of time it takes me to put up an antenna when I'm just trying to get it done and I'm not worried too much about anything else. Didn't hear a whole lot of signals. I did hear a few signals in the bands, but not a ton. I just need my 10 today. I got a little buzz in there I need to figure out inside. Yeah, we're all really... Oh, that may be HR. That's HR. Okay, I'm just going to do a CQ while I fix something in my logs here. I need to go erase one of the contact N0SR. I need to there we go. Ooh, he's coming up a little bit. This buzz you hear inside, I can fix that. part of it is I'm cranking. Oh, no, wait. Okay. So yes, this is kind of showing you when propagation is bad, like all these signals are kind of weak, but they're coming in and they're pretty, pretty decent QRP DX on top of that as well. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it. Okay, wait. Okay, let's see. Okay, got him. Here we go. That one's way down there, isn't it? Way down there. Glad I was able to work you there, my friend. The reason I have to ride this, great to get you in the logs here. yes, I know who this is. Got him. Montana. Always good to get you in the log there. Oh, there we go. Whoops. Whoops. Hang on. Great to get you, Carl. So the reason I'm having to ride the volume is because the side tone is connected to the volume. So when I got it cranked way up, I don't want the side tone to just blast. Okay, well, I kind of messed up that. Let's move to the 40-meter band here real quick, and then I'll need to wrap this up and get moving. Let's see if the 40-meter band's a little bit better, maybe. Let's listen here for a little bit. That's rough conditions, but it worked. I mean, you can work, but you heard how everyone was just kind of down, and I was too. All of my signal reports are kind of low. Their signal reports were low. That's just the way it is today. A little bit of water here. I only want a few contacts on 40. I'm actually hoping it's not super busy here because I don't think I have to worry about that today, to be honest. Because I just kind of, I need to move on here in a little bit. 40 meters CW. Here we go. Let's see. Let me just check the spots and make sure that no one is on 7063. The reason I do this, especially on a day like today, is because I may not be able to hear someone on see, there's somebody on 7060. Can I hear them? Nothing on. Boy, I tell you what, there are a lot of people out there, but I think we're all struggling. Oh, what's that? Oh, he is gone. Okay, I was looking to see if my buddy Alan was on there just now. So I think this frequency is clear. We'll check and make sure. Ooh, I need to take some photos too. I keep forgetting to take photos. Let me move this back up just for photo purposes. Let me take a picture of my station on 20 meters so I can put this in my post on QRP.com. As always, check QRP.com because I spend way more time writing up my field reports and things for QRP.com. I put all kinds of information in there. So always check that if you don't mind. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to 40. Okay. it may be worse than I was just texting my buddy Kate, R-A-T. He said he couldn't hear me, but I don't think he knows I'm on 40 yet, so it'd be great to work him. going to call it quits after this because something's going on with my antenna. 25. Okay, I'm going to turn this down because something's going on. It's 12:30 and I really do need to leave now, go grab something to eat and move on my way. It was really fun though did he say Maryland? I think he said Maryland. It was really fun to do this, and I got a total of 19 contacts. Let's go back into hammers. We can go in here and try to look at the maps, the QSO map, and you kind of get an idea of what was going on here today. It doesn't show everything. Will it do it this way? Yeah. It doesn't show everything, but it kind of shows where contacts were going, which is really nice. It's actually a pretty good tour of the United States between these two. 40 was definitely stronger than 20. I think I could have kept playing here for a while. Now, you may have noticed, I noticed this, that the VSWR light was coming on, quite a bit. It would come on, then it would go off. I am pretty darn sure that that is probably because this antenna is basically a homemade antenna of mine, and I think that the little connector there on the end, not the connector, but the attachment to the radiator, probably is experiencing some issues, and I need to redo that and make it a little more secure. I meant to do that last time I took the antenna out, but you would see that the SWR was nice and flat and great, and then it would kind of go up to about a 1 or about a 2 to 1, which is still fine, but that means that there's just that connection's not that great there, so I need to check that out and redo that end of the antenna, which won't take me long at all. I can probably do it in the car after I'm done here. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this little activation and kind of showing you how I set up an antenna. I'll show you the other side of it now that I'm off here, and then I'll get moving. This is the point. Let me just tell you where the point I'm talking about here, where the connection's probably a little faulty, is right there. I probably need to rework that and just make a better, more solid connection. What I really want to do is put a connector, not a connector, but like a blade type tip on it or something, so that that connection's a little stronger there. I suspect that's where the problem is with this, but basically I just shot it up through this tree. When I step back, I'll show you what I looked at when I was assessing these trees. I've used this tree before, probably 4 or 5 times when I've been here at Tuttle. I usually try to pick different sites every time I come, but basically I stood back here, about right there, and I just slung it aiming for one of those branches. It went exactly where I wanted it to go this time, so that was perfect. I didn't have to use multiple throws to make that work. Also, you'll see here that I just used the weight to hold the antenna down here. Now, anything you gotta really kind of keep in mind anytime you're in a park or something like that here, especially in the southeast, is when you're in an area like this, you need to be looking around for poison oak and poison ivy, because often parks, they try to take care of that stuff, but when you're off the beaten path, it's kind of fair game for whatever's here, so always be looking for that. This V should be spaced a little further out. I would rather have it just to look a little bit wider than I did it, but it worked just fine. And pleased with the results. Now I'm going to pack up everything and head back. And actually what I'll do right now is show you how long it takes me to pack this up. It'll take me a little while because I've got quite a bit of that line there, and that 2mm line on that type of surface wants to pick up every little stick and leaf and everything. So we'll go through this. I'll show you how long this will take me. Let me set up the tripod again here. And do this really quickly. If you don't want to watch this, of course, you can skip to the end. And no one will be upset about that. Here we go. Let's see. Can you see everything? I think you can see everything. And what I'll do is roll this up in sort of figure 8, just like I do all my other cables. You know, probably not the best way to do this for longevity, I don't know, but I don't mind. I don't mind if the antenna has a little bit of, or the Feedline has a little bit of extra wear and tear, but I try to do it kind of loosely. And I feel like RG316 can take this. Now let's get the antenna on the winder now. Yeah, see, this is the part I'm talking about right here. This is like a little teeny bit loose. I'm pretty darn sure that's the problem we have. I threw this together pretty quickly. Been a great antenna, actually. And it will continue to be. Great thing is I can actually work on this without having to take apart the whole antenna here later. I can see that Feedline picking up sticks. This type of ground where you've got lots of leaves and little twigs and sticks and things, that's the absolute worst for 2mm line. That 2mm line of mine wants to pick it up. But I've got some tricks to lessen that a little bit. See a little bit of a knot in one side of mine. Oops, here we go. I have a love-hate relationship with winders. I think this is a fairly good one. I think this one shipped with one of my PAR end-fed antennas. And I think it is pretty nice, but in a way I'd rather just do a figure 8 on my hand with a 40-meter end-fed half wave. And that's about the maximum amount I'd want to do on my hand. The winder is nice in that it makes it nice and flat in my bag, and I do like that for sure. Okay, I see where it's sticking over there. Okay. I just pull this knot off very easily, and we're done with that. Now all I'll have to do is put the Velcro around here to hold it in, and I think let's see, this actually wants to stick here, so I may actually clip this on in here just to hold it up. There we go. Now the antenna is secure. Let's go to the end and we'll take care of the feed line, or the throw line. Grab my weights. I'll show you how I do this. It's going to be a little hard to show you with the camera. I really need like a action camera on my head or something, so you can see this easily. What you want with this 2mm line when it's on this kind of surface, which is the worst, what you don't want is for it to fall down and bundle up in just like a little bundle, because when you pull that out, it is going to drag and pick up every little stick and everything. So what you want to do is just make it as long and straight as you can. So what I'm going to do is pull it out this way first, and when I'm pulling it out of the tree then, see, it's already picked up one stick there. When I pull it out of the tree, it'll come out in like one long go here. So we'll give this a go. Let's see. Let me set this down. I'll show you how I wind it up. Let's set this down here. Now I'll just start winding on my hand. And you can kind of see over here, maybe if you look, you can kind of see it's still just in one long strand there. And when it's like that, it's going to work out just fine. It won't pick up anything much. It'll still pick up some stuff, but it'll be easy for it to cope with it. Right, here we go. It's about to come out of the tree and fall down. It'll fall down in a little clump when it happens, but I can probably manage that because it's not too big. Yeah, here we go. Come on, just fine. I got some kind of little knot here, but you always have to remember when you have a knot in the midline like this, it's not actually a knot. It's just like it'll come out completely. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I have it. There we go. Let's put this in here. And now I'll continue to go the rest of the way. And then I'll be done. this portion of it. Now, if you have a throw line and a throw bag with some of the bigger, like yellow poly line, this goes a little faster, but this gives you really good ultimate portability, which is the reason why I like using it. I don't mind a little extra inconvenience packing it up and everything for that convenience of having, you know, very portable, just little portable pack for my throw line. Here we go. And this is a little Tom bin bag. This is not made for throw line people, but, or for arborists, but works for me. Okay, here we go. Back over here and we'll pack up the rest of the kit. We'll be done. I'm hoping maybe later today I'll have an opportunity to play a little bit more POTA. Maybe I can get out to a park this afternoon. Be nice if I could. If not tonight, or if not today, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Okay, let's see. Got this. I'm going to put it in my pack over here. I actually brought two different things with me today. I have a kit. I have a couple of radios I brought to just play with over the course of. Whoops, I've still got that on. Over the course of the next couple of days, and put my Bengali Traveler back up. Love that key. Absolutely love that key. This goes in here. I'll throw this in my pack. This I'll keep inside here with my radio the next time I use it. I went ahead and bought, actually it was during Dayton on Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I went with my buddy Eric to the store, and they had a lot of Write and Rain notepads in a lot of various colors, and I actually bought a few of them while I was there so I could keep some dedicated ones in with my dedicated field kits. This up with my bag here, and really that's it. That's the great thing about this radio, is it's so easy to kind of take and set up. There's not much to it since the radio has the battery and the ATU built in it. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this fun and informative, at least fun. I hope your cats and dogs that watch TV, I do have a cat that is a fan of this channel. I hope that hope they are enjoying it as well today. If you get a chance to go out and play radio outdoors, I hope you do that. Remember, the thing I like to sort of demonstrate about doing Parks on the Air, about doing CW, about doing SOTA, or any of the things I do, is that if I can do it, anybody can do it. Don't worry too much about having a perfect setup, a perfect fist, a perfect voice, a perfect setting, the perfect antenna. Just get out with what you have and have fun. And don't worry, especially like in CW, don't worry if your fist isn't perfect. It does not matter. We like to work people who are learning, and that's like one of the biggest honors in the world of CW, is work somebody that's new. So when you go out with a little slower fist that's not perfect, people love working with you with that. So just go for it. And if you really don't care for CW and you're just into SSB, you know, just practice your exchanges and stuff, and don't worry about it. Everybody gets a little mic shy sometimes. That's perfectly fine. Just hop out there and do it, and enjoy it, and I think you'll have a good time. Anyway, take care. Be kind to one another. All we got on this planet's each other. And until next time, 7 3s.